Okay, here we go. Welcome. It is a major video here from Atlantis Gaming Group today. They are currently setting up in their 5 minutes, about 2.5 minutes left to go in their setup of the Apocalypse game that we've started today. It is 10,000 points aside. Matt down there, Nick and Victor are on one side. We've got Adam, our Dragon Reborn. He's back in town, and a honorary member, Casey Corbett here. He is also in town from the military, and they're on my side. Me, hello, hi. And we are playing Ultramarines and Marines and Marines and more Marines and more Marines. It's a Marines extravaganza. With some Inquisitor. Yeah, there's a little bit of Inquisitor stuff in there too. On the other side, we've got Orks. Lots and lots of Orks, including a custom Stampa and a Skull Hammer over there. And then they are also being supported by Tyranids and a whole bunch of freaking Dark Eldar. So it is the Imperium versus the Xeno scum of the universe. We will come back after a little bit with an update.
Okay, that's it for deployment over here on the Axis of Evil. They got the green tide over here. It's 100 Orc boys. Just a mass of Dark Eldar vehicles. There's the custom Stampa. That's about not even close to being done, but we'll call it's good enough for this game. The Skull Hammer, and just a mess of Tyranids right here. We're now into the exciting Space Marine deployment. They bid an hour, so they're just sitting over there doing nothing. They've deployed a couple vehicles, looks like a Rhino, some Land Raiders and stuff, but they're not interesting enough to just continually record. So we'll be back at the end of their deployment, and we'll get ready for the first turn then. Okay, here we go. End of deployment. Strategic reserves already called in. Null fields right there. A Big Mech shop right here. They called in the surgical strike. The Space Marines Army did, and they managed to basically stun one of these, and they blew a weapon off of another one. But that's it. We'll get started with the Axis of Evil, turn 1. Be back. All right, here we go. We're middle of movement phase right now for the Space Marines.
Are you done?
But there's a
Can I shoot through here? Yes.
big ol' look at the board right now.
Two ships.
To those guys? Yes.
So, just a cool little overview at the moment. A lot of deep striking went in around my green tide. But we'll be back at the end of the turn to give you a roundup. Okay, end of turn 1 of the Apocalypse game. Let's cover what happened. Tyranid Axis of Evil phase. Basically, the Tyranids do what Tyranids do best, which is move up. They took some wounds from the minefield asset that the Space Marines took. But other than that, nothing big. Dark Eldar. Big ol' fleet of pleasure craft moving up. Advancing on the line. Orc phase. The Wall of Green moved up. And then shooting. My big ol' Stampa took a shot down with his death cannon and blew up the command tank in the Predator Assassin squad. And then took some other shots, I don't think did much. And then the Skull Hammer took a shot right down there at that at that Land Raider and didn't do anything. No assaults because there wasn't hardly anything on the field. Then, running around, massive amounts of deep striking from the Grey Knights and Blood Angels. Everything over here trying to concentrate on this big old group of orcs. Everybody deep struck in, no mishapping. The Grey Knights shot into the orcs, took 17 of them out. Unfortunately, all of the Sanguinary Guard units were out of range to assault. And then over here, if I'm not mistaken, these 3 Predators shot into the Reaver jet bikes and took out 1. Where else was shooting?
There was some shooting over there.
These guys took out.
There was some shooting into those Termagants from these Terminators. Took 3 or 4 of them out. All of those Dreadnoughts kind of shuffled around. Shot into Termagants
Shut up. Termagants got 4 of them.
and knocked out some more of them. But the great thing about Tyranids is there's always more. So that was it for turn 1. We're now getting started with turn 2 for the Axis of Evil. We'll be back to round it up later. Okay, turn 2. We're trying to do this a little bit quick, so excuse me if I forget something. Tyranid, general advancement. Didn't do a lot of shooting, so that was pretty much it for them. No assaults. Oh, I take that back. Shooting ripped off the turret over there. So that was it for Tyranids. Dark Eldar. General advance, just trying to get an eye on everybody. These guys moved up 12 inches, blastered in, and wrecked this Predator. Orks moved up, didn't do anything. Skullhammer took a couple shots. I don't think really did anything. The Stompa over there nuked a bunch of Orks, basically. I shot the belly gun over here, and thought it was better when I initially took the shot. It really wasn't, so all I ended up doing was killing Orks. The Doom of Malantai landed, and I killed 3 or 4 guys in the initial phase. Then in the Space Marine phase, he took a couple more. All this stuff over here assaulted into the Orks and just basically took them out. I was able to take out a couple Pallies with my Power Claws, but that was about it. Both of the Storm Ravens came in, took some shots at the Stompa and didn't do anything. Bunch of shots over here at the Trigons. Managed to put quite a few wounds on them, but none of them were able to take them down. The Terminators assaulted in, and through a whole bunch of bad luck on their part, only managed to put 1 wound on the Trigon. So it won combat. And a whole bunch of Terminators came in, dropped in, vortex grenaded the Skullhammer and knocked it out, and over here and knocked 2 of their own out. So that was it. We'll be back on turn 3. Okay, the day is over. Unfortunately, only got 2 rounds in, but it was still a great game. It's just awesome seeing, you know, all of this stuff is on the table. It's awesome seeing this many models on the table. But we only got 2 rounds in. But at the end of 2 rounds, it was an Axis of Evil victory, 2 objectives to 1. Really good, about as much destruction as I was planning on. Enjoyed the hell out of fielding Stompa. We had the Stompa over there. We was going to be assaulting in there. Basically, they got a structure point. I didn't do anything because I didn't factor in storm shields. But really, that was just after the game was over. I just wanted to see how it would go. But it was a great game. I'm sure everybody had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And that was it. Thanks for watching. And we will see you next time.